A new book together today. Davion, have a seat next to Caesar. Have a seat next to Caesar. I will be watching. Are you ready to look at our new book together today? Are you ready to look at our new book today? I have a question for you. Before I give you our new book today under your chair, do any of you have little brothers or sisters? Do you have a little brother or sister? Sit up and tell me about them. Is it a brother or a sister? Okay, tell me what their names are. Who? Are they boys or girls? Okay, which one is which? Kennedy is he has a little sister and a little brother? Do you have a little brother or a little sister? A little brother? Do you remember when your mommy brought them home from the hospital? You have a little cousin too? Do you remember when your little brother and little sister came home from the hospital? Were they little bitty or were they big? Were they tiny? Were they wrapped up in a blanket? How did you feel about having a new little brother and sister? You just have a cousin? Well, how did you feel about having a new brother and sister? Good? Were you excited? Are you the oldest? Do you know what that makes him? A big brother. Did you know we're going to read a story about big brothers today? Are you a big brother or do you have a big brother? You have a big brother and a cousin, but you have a brother that's older than you? He's 16, so you're the little brother. You're bigger than them? Well, it's fun being a big brother. Did you know all I had was little brothers. I was the big sister. We're going to read a story about two big brothers. Can I introduce you to Jack and Billy? Let's look at the story first. Right now we're going to read about Jack and Billy. Jack and Billy have a surprise coming home to them. Can you guess what the surprise is going to be? A baby what? Why do you think it's a baby girl? That is a good prediction. She has a pink blanket on, doesn't she? Now, Jack and Billy are excited that they're going to be big brothers. And they are waiting and waiting for the baby to come. They're at school and every day they're talking with their teacher about their new sister that's coming. Do they look excited? They do. Let's keep looking to see what else happens. Look at these pictures. Who do you think this is? Teacher. The teacher. Do you think that they're pretty lucky that they get to have a new baby at their house? I think so too. I think so too. Who do you think this is? And let me ask you a question. It could be Dad. What else could they call him?
Uncle. Father.
It could be an uncle. They could call him Father. You're exactly right. If they're calling him Dad, what do you hear at the beginning of Dad? What sound? Make the sound for me. Can I write that down right here? If it's Dad, it's going to start with a D. You also said they could be calling him Father. What sound do you hear at the beginning of Father? Father. What sound do you hear? You want to write down the letter that makes that sound? What letter is that? Okay, so if they call him Dad, it's going to start with a D. If they call him Father, it's going to start with an F. Okay, let's keep looking. Let's just keep that in mind. We don't know yet what they're going to call him. Now, they're still waiting. They are still waiting on the baby to come. And where are Mom and Dad? They're not there to pick up Jack or Billy from school.
They're at the hospital.
Do you think they're at the hospital? Good prediction. Maybe they're at the hospital. Here they are. Somebody is excited. Why do you think he's excited, Davion? Why do you think he's excited? What have they been waiting to happen? For the baby to get here. What do you think? Do you think that's why they're excited? What do you think Dad is about to say?
The baby is here.
The baby is here. And they're jumping in the car. Where do you think they're headed?
Home?
They could be headed home, but remember, sometimes moms have to stay where?
In the hospital.
At the hospital for a couple of days, and then they get to come home. They're headed to see Mom at the hospital. Look at the baby. She's so little. She's so little. They start off really little and then they get bigger, don't they? Now, they're the big brothers, aren't they? They're the big brothers. You think they're excited about being big brothers?
Just like Billy B and Billy.
We saw that in another book, didn't we? That was the same name. You're exactly right. Good connection. All right, we're going to look at this book together. When you're reading today, what are some things that you're going to do when you get to a word that you don't know?
Skip it.
You can skip it and come back right? And see what makes sense. What else could we do? What are some other strategies that we could use? When you get to a word that you don't know, you can cover up parts. Exactly, you can cover up parts. Look for little parts that you know. Exactly. What are some other strategies that you could do?
We could sound them out, or
you could look at the sounds at the
end and back.
At the beginning.
At the beginning, you put the E at the end.
Okay. You are going to look at the beginning sounds. What else could I look at for a clue?
The picture.
The picture. You guys know all kinds of good strategies. Here's what I want you to do today. When you're reading, Xavion, I want you to ask yourself this question. Did that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, what do you need to do?
Skip it and come back to it.
Okay, you can skip it and come back to it? If you read something and it doesn't make sense, do you think it would be a good idea to go back and read it again and check it? Can you do that for me? Well, let's look at it together. Before I can give you this book, I need to know that you're going to use your strategies. Like all of those good strategies that you just said to Miss Eifert, we're going to use those when we read. Okay? Are you ready?